Hello, internet friends. I'm Ryan, and this is Demos in the Dark. And tonight we are looking at an amp from someone who's fast becoming one of my favorite amp builders out there. We will be looking at the 45 Plus from Henry Amplification. I've been finding out that my friend JP Henry is a Marshall amps scholar. He is an expert in Marshall amps. And this amp right here is a combination of two amps, two vintage Marshall amps, the 45-100 and the JTM 45. And what he wanted to do was take the best of both of those and put them together in one amp. So you get really nice cleans. You get really, really fantastic dirt. It's 30 watts clean, 45 when you're pushing it. It has a tube rectifier on it. It's powered by two 5881 power tubes. You have two channels. You have an overdrive channel and a normal channel. You have a master volume. The master volume actually works. It's weird. It sounds incredible. On the back, we have a control for the tube-driven reverb. Yes, this amp has tube-driven reverb, and it is very appropriate. When you have an amp capable of this kind of power and this kind of compression, you don't necessarily want a super slinky reverb. You do want one that sits behind a little bit and just adds a nice cushion, and that is what this one here does. We also had an effects loop back here, and the speaker is a Warehouse Guitar Speakers Reaper HP. So let's throw it down here on a mix on multiple guitar tracks, then come on back here, and we will run through this amp all by its lonesome. Take a deeper dive into the 45 Plus from Henry Amplification. We're going to start out with some cleans. We'll get to the dirt eventually, don't worry. But the cleans on here are really, really good. And I am going to be running this Sife Guitars OH19. We pulled the mids back a little bit. We are running on the normal channel, not the OD channel. And we've added some reverb on the back. Pretty scooped EQ. And here we go. So we can pull up those mids a little bit and maybe get some squawk out of that. See that here? So we can take the exact same settings that I was using there with the OH19, and now I have a Heritage H150, and what was kind of hovering on the edge of distortion will now be a very, very punchy overdrive. So now we are over in the overdrive channel, and I have pulled back the mids a little bit. We're about halfway up on the gain, and what this is going to produce for you is a very, very nice rock and roll, classic rock rhythm guitar sound. Think Milk Me Up. I have the same settings going now, except I've cranked the gain up quite a bit. The mids are still pulled back, so it's still a really great rhythm sound. And about partway through this, I am going to move those mids up a little bit, and we'll move from a rhythm sound to a lead sound. So if that wasn't enough gain for you, what we can do is we can actually pull up the volume control to match the gain control, pull up the master a little bit, and this should be plenty of gain. Lastly, I didn't pre-game this at all, but let's hope it sounds good. I'm sure it sounds good. We're just diming everything. Everything on 10. And for that, earplugs, yeah. Let's do that too. that's just a brief look at the 45 Plus from Henry Amplification. I gotta tell you, I love Henry Amplification. I am really starting to love Henry Amplification, and I love this amp. This amp is fantastic. I don't want to send this back, but them's the rules. So, I mean, it's got everything you could possibly want. It is a tiny, tiny enclosure. It doesn't weigh a ton. It is just packed with power and packed with drive, and then it has gorgeous cleans. What else do you want? Man, this thing rules. So, thank you, JP, for sending this over for me to check out and dream about later. And thank you for your time.